Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CoinDrop podcast. This is episode 112, and we are coming to you from PAX in Seattle. We have a absolute fuckload of content for you guys tonight, so be prepared for that. Mike is not joining me. He actually picked up a new job and is going to be working as a assistant manager at a U-Haul, and he started that on Saturday. So unfortunately, he had to cancel PAX, but hopefully we'll have him here next year. Joining me is Chris, good friend of the show. He's been on a few times, as well as Brzezinski. He's been on as well a few times, and they decided to join me once again at PAX. We kind of make it an annual trip at this point. I think this is 2 years in a row now we've done this.
Yeah,
yeah, you guys have come. They kind of helped me out around the con, picked up some topics they're going to talk about with us. Like I said, this is a massive episode, so it very well could end up getting cut into 2 parts. There's also all the content of the actual convention itself, the interviews, just a ton of stuff coming your guys' way. So I do apologize if this episode is a little bit late as a result of the mass amount of content we have for you. With that said, gentlemen, how have you experienced the con so far? How's it been?
I think it's been a lot of fun. I will say I'm a little underwhelmed by some of the turnout of the vendors this year.
Yeah.
They definitely opted for less booths, but bigger booths for sure. But there definitely wasn't a lack of content or things to do. That was my first impression, but otherwise I've had a blast.
A lot of big booths for like showing. I think like Nintendo for the Switch 2 took up like a third of the space that they were on.
Yeah.
To be fair, last year they had that entire side of the show.
Yeah. And I mean, at least now they actually had the Switch 2 show.
Yeah.
People like demo the different games and stuff that they've got coming out for that.
That was most of it. It was just a swaths of different demo units for everything that they actually have out right now. So it makes sense why they got that much.
Yeah. I think it made sense the way they actually, like, I'll give them credit for the way they laid it out.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot of more of like the hardware demo on that side with Nintendo. That way, it's not Nintendo and other people trying to compete with all the lines and stuff that were going on there, which, saying that now, makes sense why MSI, Lenovo, and all them didn't actually have anything for sale this year.
I still think that's weird.
I do too.
It was.
I do too.
It was.
I was looking forward to picking up a new laptop this year, especially since my tablet computer thing is basically dead now.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But all in all, it definitely felt smaller. Like there wasn't nearly as much to see, but there were still like a plethora of smaller developers there.
Yeah, a lot of great indies.
Yeah, with just great games. We've got this list of stuff to show you guys.
We've got a huge list. Before we jump into that, it's actually kind of funny you guys say this one felt smaller than last year, because by comparison for me, these last 2 years have been fucking huge compared to like 2014 and even up to like 2018. Capcom, Bandai Namco, and Nintendo were all here. I think 2016, the biggest thing that came to PAX was Destiny, and they're local.
Yeah.
That was the biggest name at PAX in 2016.
And now they're making waves to come out here.
Yeah,
Right.
I think a part of that is because E3's gone now, so PAX is the West Coast gaming convention.
Basically picking up the slack and, filling the gaps.
Yeah, I remember 2018 when I came and covered it. I mean, the big name at that time was Microsoft. They came with Sea of Thieves, and we played Sea of Thieves, and Riot was here, and we played like League of Legends and stuff. But Capcom being here, again, second year in a row is pretty huge. Bandai joining them.
And that one other game, the vampire game.
Oh, Bloodlines, the Chinese room. They weren't here this year. I was hoping we would see
the ones that were off in like that rest area. Right?
Blood of the Dawnwalkers. That's like, the Bandai.
Yeah, that's not a game I would have expected.
That's what I said when we covered it the first time. But let's get into the content. We've got a ton here. Chris actually has a list to keep us aware of everything. And just before we jump into that, so we had to decide what we were going to talk about for free and what you're going to have to pay for. So there's a ton more content for you guys over on Patreon. This particular episode is also going to be a video episode as well as audio episode over on Patreon, just because it's going to be easier to do everything. So if you haven't considered checking out our Patreon, now's the right time to do it. It's $3 a month, patreon.com/CoinDropPod. You'll get a ton of new content, and we're making some changes in the future. So instead of getting the episode a day early, starting very soon, you'll be getting it 2 days early. That means the free side will be coming out a day later than normal. Don't know exactly when that's starting, but it's going to be soon. I will make that announcement. So with that said, what do we got first, Chris?
Volunteer Ascension.
Yeah, so this is another small indie game, came across my desk when they started sending out press emails. This is a Metroidvania game that does a little bit of a twist, which has kind of been the thing lately, right? Everybody wants to be this, but with this, or with this kind of tweak on it and stuff like that. And there's actually 2 Metroidvania games we're going to talk about. The other one's over on Patreon, so you have to come over there to check that one out. Volunteer Ascension is just beautiful colorful art in a 2D Castlevania side scroller where the majority of your combat is based on melee. And it's good, tight controls. There's a dodge mechanic that allows you to slide back and forth. You actually unlock the ability to like teleport through enemies, which gets into some really cool combos. There's weak spots on monsters that you can learn. But what really makes it unique is they've added RPG aspect in the sense that there's actual currency you can get in the world and a town that you will go to actually spend that currency for upgrades, gear, and things along that lines, as well as what they call fated bonds, which are companion NPCs that you join with that act as kind of your magic. So they'll bond to, in this case, it was played on controller, your X, Y, B button if you're playing on Xbox, whatever, square, circle, triangle button on PlayStation. And you use those in combat to do different things. One of the guys I had this ability to like chain the enemies on screen. So you can just wail on them, take them out real quick. Another one has like an AoE fireball that he shoots. It's actually, I think it's a flaming meatball, because he's a chef. Yeah, it's this huge, I'm pretty sure it's a flaming meatball. He's a chef, so he throws this huge flaming meatball. It's very cool.
Can you chain these together? Like the different ones synergize with one another?
So it doesn't chain, but once you have all three and you've done enough damage and like built up your gauge or whatever, you get like a Triforce attack. So depending on which, because there's a bunch of them through the game that you unlock, depending on what your team makeup is, it determines what that giant chain looks like.
So there's more than three
there's
types of spirits that you
correct. They're not spirits. They're actual like companion NPCs that join you and talk to you and stuff like that. So they don't necessarily fight with you.
like the old like Final Fantasy style like combos.
Yeah.
Combos available
Where they jump
like
in.
who you've recruited. Yeah, and they just kind of like jump in and you guys do like a quick combo thing.
So I actually asked him, I was talking to the creative director there, and you guys can see that interview on our YouTube as well. I was actually talking to the creative director and I was like, hey, this feels like Marvel vs. Capcom inspired to me, like the tag team kind of jump in. And he's like, that's exactly what we were going for, was that fighter game. You call in your ally, they do a quick move, and then jump out and you're back into the action.
Yeah, I like that.
So it was very cool. It felt really good. When it comes to Metroidvania, tight controls are a absolutely critical aspect of it. If the controls do not feel responsive, the game just falls apart. And every time I got hit, every time I missed a jump, I felt like it was me, not the game. It was very clearly I mistimed that. I didn't judge that gap right.
Control lag or
right. Yeah, there was none of that.
Kind of old school platforms.
Yeah, it was just 100% on me.
So one of those games that's easy to pick up, but I wouldn't say difficult to master, but mastering it is like a whole nother tier of gameplay.
Right, yeah. It had like levels of it, right? Like you learn an ability and then you're like, oh, I can use it to do this. And then you're like, oh, but I can use it to do this. And then you're like, oh, but I can use it to do this. It's got levels to it and it's very cool. It's very funny. The guy's like, have you played Metroidvania games before? I was like, well, I've played both of those titles religiously for a very long time. So yes.
The namesake of the genre.
Yeah, but it was cool. I highly recommend it. There is a demo out currently. It's about an hour gameplay. They're aiming for, I think, 20 hours of gameplay with the potential to get up to 40 if you want to go completionist on it. I could be mistaken.
Are they going to have different difficulty levels to the game?
I don't know what their new game plus or like difficulty modes are going to be.
I feel like if they introduced at a minimum a permadeath, especially for that style game, you're entering a level of replayability that those Mario World creationists and they would like speed run these crazy designs. You're entering a whole new level of speed running a game with permadeath. You're going to snag the nature of those people who are just A+ competitive gamer.
They did say that one of the achievements they plan on adding is completing the game without using a single fated bond, which apparently can be done, but it is incredibly hard. So that might be like the hard mode kind of thing that they
I like those challenges.
Yeah, that's cool. Like permadeath mode in Baldur's Gate is incredibly difficult, but a good time. So everything's trying to kill you in that game. Yeah, Volunteer Ascension, seriously, if you're at all interested in Metroidvania, if you like the 2D side scroll, if you've got a Steam Deck, it is prime for Steam Deck gameplay. Currently, it's only on Steam. There is talks about potentially bringing it to consoles in the future, but that's what you got.
Starseeker.
Okay, yeah, Starseeker. So, did you get a chance to play it?
Did not.
Okay,
and
but you looked at
it. I did look at it. It looks very exciting because you and me both played Astroneer before, and we both really enjoyed that. And my feedback from that game is, man, I just wish there was more to do or something a little more challenging. And lo and behold, they created just that.
Yeah. So a Starseeker it's not a sequel to Astroneer, but it takes place in the same universe. And it is a completely change of genre, different focus completely, same voxel-based destruction of the environment, but it is an action adventure game. They stripped away the survival, made it more accessible to a wider audience. Still super kid friendly, but slightly unhinged. We'll get to that in a second. The person I spoke with, Joe, great guy, he was cautious on his wording for it, but it's an extraction light is the best way I can put that. There is a certain time limit to completing missions, and then you go back to space. The way that affects the gameplay is in Astroneer, I'm sure you remember having to make tethers and oxygen.
Yep.
In this, you don't have to do that. You have a set amount of oxygen, which is your quote unquote time limit.
More of a, you don't get to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. That's
You don't
your
have that.
limitation. Yeah.
So you get missions from the space station, which sounds like they're actually going to make that like an actual social space. Think the Tower in Destiny or anything like that, like a town in any MMO.
All right.
Because this is an online only game. Everybody's going to take place on this station and then go to the same planet together. So everyone is playing on this single planet with you, which gets reset at an unspecified amount of time, because if it didn't, the whole world would become Swiss cheese very quickly. But everyone is affecting the same world. How many people on a server was unclear. I couldn't get that solid answer yet. I don't know that they fleshed all that out. But basically, you'll get assigned a job. You go down to the planet, you go to complete that. And hey, it turns out there's other people in the area doing stuff. What they've changed tech-wise sounds simple. And I want to point to David Brevik's interview for this, because he said some stuff on game design that really made me think you guys should check out that interview as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. They added water. And that doesn't sound like a big deal, but they added water to the sense that you can make waterfalls. You can drain lakes. You can flood valleys. And this is a world where everyone's playing together. So you can inadvertently completely screw over someone else's mission.
Or completely intentionally.
Right?
Which, of course, we know there's...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We're humans.
Yeah.
It's like Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
But not if it can happen, it will happen.
It will happen because it can happen.
You gave people the ability to do so they will
They will abuse it in every way possible.
It's like the old Sandlot saying, if you build it, they will come.
Oh, yeah. If you allow it, they will do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you can affect the world in huge ways with that, right? There's new monsters to deal with. There was never monsters in Astroneer. There's aliens. You can't kill them. You don't shoot them with ray guns or anything like that. But you get different nozzles that can do different things. Like the one I was using was a turf builder. So I could like suck up the earth and then shoot it. And you could stun enemies and then pick them up and use them as a mobile turret. So they would start shooting again. And you could use them to fuck with other players, to solve environmental issues, things like that. There were other non-aggressive life forms, which are these little carrot dudes that are cute as fuck. But you have the ability to scan, the environment and learn about fauna and flora and all that.
Star Citizen.
Yeah, a
Star
little
Citizen.
No Man's Sky.
Yes.
No Man's Sky,
Yes.
So you can learn about the terrain, the stuff around you.
Yeah.
And if you scan these little carrot guys, I scanned it and immediately was like, hey, Joe. He's like, yeah. Does that say cannibalistic? And he's like, yup.
Oh my.
I was like, it wouldn't be a Devolver digital game if you guys didn't go a little unhinged. He's like, oh, trust me, that's just the tip.
Oh,
and I'm like, awesome. He's like, you can also pick these guys and yeet them like a football. So I grabbed one and just chucked the dude into orbit. It was awesome. So, yeah.
All right, I'm even more excited to play this now.
And remind me, this is the game where you got this hat from.
Yes, yeah, this is this merch. Their logos are just awesome. I fucking love it. It's really cool. Their wristband.
Very simplistic, very nice, colorful, like you said, very family friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice hat.
Yeah, it's my favorite type of merch where it's just one of those things where you know if you know. There's no branding on this. It's just, if you know what this logo is, if you know what these symbols are, you know what it is.
That's what's going to get people to ask more questions. Like, oh, dude, what is that?
Yeah, exactly. The cool thing about the game is it's, again, super family friendly, but enjoyable. It's not one of those games that feels like it's catered towards kids. There's definitely stuff in there this is adult humor. Like the old Looney Tunes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like as kids, we loved Looney Tunes. We watch it now and we're like, wow, that's raunchy.
Or my personal favorite, Animaniacs. Like, this was fun.
Oh, yeah. So kid-friendly, but mature in a subtle way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this PvE or is it like
Yes.
EVP?
It's only PvE. Outside of fucking each other over with terrain management and stuff like that, it's completely cooperative. The mission I had was I had to go get this beacon turned back on. There was this relay station that was damaged for some reason, stopped relaying, and it was actually buried. So I had to go in there and use my tool, clean it out, suck it out, get inside, figure out what was going on. Found out an alien had actually stolen the beacon, go and track down the beacon. And it's this big fuck off monster guy. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. You grab that. I'm going to bury this bitch. So I just started eating the earth out from under him and sunk him down into the ground and then just covered him up. And we just ran out.
It's probably something.
That's just a completely viable way to play it.
Exactly,
And
like-
that's what I love about
Yeah.
that.
And even Joe, he was like, it might not look pretty, but at the end of the day, if it works, it works. And I was like, that's my thought. Like,
Yeah.
got him.
I'm not gonna lie, like all the times that I walked by that, super tempted. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I want to stand in that because there was a lot of people in line to test play.
There was, and that's the only
Um,
reason I didn't get to.
yeah.
So we never ran out of time.
Me with my knee injury, like I can only be on my feet for so long. There's just stuff I want to check out. Pragmata, man, that looks like fun, but that line is at least 2.5 hours
Yeah.
of standing there.
Yeah. Good news, too, if I remember correctly. Again, don't quote me on this. Talk to a lot of devs. I believe they have a demo coming for Next Fest.
They're alpha right now still. Right?
Yeah, they're alpha currently. Beta's coming soon, hopefully, I think around the time of Next Fest. Again, check Joe's interview for all the accurate information that I got at the time.
This next one is one that you brought to our attention when you first started getting your like media pass information.
Yeah.
But Aether and Iron.
Yeah. First of all, bravo to the devs. They literally nailed this game on every fucking mark. I mean, I have zero doubt that this game is going to be a huge success for them. The voice acting is totally on point. The script writing is totally on point. The art style is totally on point. The combat, again, everybody wants a twist on everything now, and they found a really good one. It's a CRPG. CRPG is like Baldur's Gate, Pathfinder, things like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
where it's turn-based tactical combat. Think XCOM, but more RPG, right?
All right.
So obviously, if you play Baldur's Gate, that's kind of the go-to
Yeah.
CRPG. It's that, but it's in a car.
I remember some
Mhm.
videos and
Yep.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So the combat is all based from your car. You have a squad. You can choose, I think it's one passenger that rides with you, which changes how you address combat. But one of the hurdles the team had is how do you build obstacles in a moving vehicle for combat? If you're driving down the road and you're trying to do a CRPG, in this case, you're flying, because I should clarify, Aether and Iron is a 1930s styled noir cyber steampunk game. And on every single check mark, they nail it.
It's a
100%.
mouthful,
It
but
is,
it's
but
accurate.
it is tasty. It is so tasty. Gia's hot as hell, the main character. She's femme fatale, meets every gumshoe that's been around. She's a hardcore bitch.
I'm gonna have to bring this up on Steam when we're done.
Yeah,
just so
it's
I can
cool.
check that out again. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember the car combat,
Mhm.
the noir style storytelling, the art style. is
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, the art style's incredible.
Yeah.
And I did an interview with them as well. That's also up. So they wanted to do like a branching narrative, but obviously that's hard. They're an indie. This is their first game. A lot of shelved and failed projects came before this, and kind of they cut their teeth on that. But this is their first real product coming out. And man, I don't think they could have done any better.
It looks phenomenal.
Yeah. The art style to me really exudes a lot of professional graphic novel kind
Yes.
of artwork.
Yeah.
It's very visceral. It was very clean, and they did a lot of work to display it in a very fluid, artistic manner. And I'm loving it.
The game's entirely voice acted, and every voice actor just nails every second of their dialogue. It's really good. One of my favorite things was the branching choices. The first person I go to get this job, to take this scientist into the lowers, their terminology for the upper city and the lower. It's so good. There's a drunk at this table because I'm in this club in the uppers, high-end snooty bitches. There's this dude passed out at the table, and there's a bottle of gin, and you have the option to leave the bottle, take a drink. It's like, fuck that, give me that shit. So I took the bottle, and the bartender gets this whole dialogue of gives you this look or whatever, and Gia just shoots back a glare like, fuck you kind of guy. So I was curious. I was like, all right, what's going to happen? What's the bartender going to think? What's this guy going to do? What's going to happen if I take this bottle? Later on, you go to meet the scientist that you're supposed to be taking to the lowers, and I get this option to buy off these cabbies that are hassling her by just giving them the bottle that I took. Awesome. Wouldn't have had that option had I not taken the bottle. Very cool.
Subtle, divergent gameplay.
Yeah. Even if there was another way that would have gone, the fact that it felt like I have a choice with that is what really mattered.
The end result is always going to be the same, but
Mhm.
how you get there
Yeah.
is up to you.
And they do have multiple endings. They wanted to bring everything together to one coherent ending, but depending on who you work with, how you talk to them, who you choose to save or not save, depending on certain points of the story, there was no real good way to rectify that into one solid ending. So much like Baldur's Gate and a lot of other games lately, there's going to be multiple endings, which is a good thing because that means replayability, right?
Yeah,
So you've got some
kind
extra
of like
stuff.
what Cyberpunk did. Like
Yeah.
The base game had like 6 different endings.
It's a little bit too much. I'm good with 3. 3 endings is enough. Anything more than that, I think is just overkill. But yeah, Cyberpunk had a lot.
A good ending, a bad ending, a meh
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah. 3 or 4. We don't want to be like Mass Effect where it's just red, blue, or green. So I want to talk about the combat a little bit because of the challenges around it. They actually had to figure out how to build obstacles because in a tabletop game like Baldur's Gate, you could be like, there's a mountain here, there's a river there. You have obstacles you can put on the map that the player has to navigate around. You can't really do that in a car. So what they ended up coming up with is every combat you go into, because you're in a car, there's going to be civilians on the map that are going to have their own movement through the turns, driving. So you have moving obstacles on your moving battleground that you have to navigate around. But now, if you're a high-level IQ player, you use that to your advantage because there's also other obstacles that happen every couple of turns. Who knows how long or if it's on every map, but you get lanes that go red. And it's like, hey, there's an obstacle ahead. So I was in combat in the one section of combat that they have in the game, and I actually blocked in the guy that was attacking me and forced him to stay in that lane because I positioned myself alongside perfectly with the civilians that he ran into the roadblock and died.
Nice.
So didn't even have to kill him myself, just Looney Tunes the shit out of this motherfucker.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
So that alone is super unique. RPGs is all about navigating the terrain, using it to your advantage, and this game does that as well.
It's a really good way to just take out that frustration driving in the city.
That's Aether Iron. They too, I believe, are looking to release a demo for Next Fest. A lot of these games that are here are looking to release demos for Next Fest.
That is probably one of, I would argue, like a handful of games. I'm going to wish list this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to follow its development. Next on our list, we've got War of the Western Deep.
For those of you who have been following the show for a long time, in fact, a year to date, you would know we talked about this game last year. And I cannot express to you how excited I was to get that email across my desk telling me they were coming back this year, that they got the funding, that the project is moving forward, and that they actually had something for me to play this year.
Hell yeah.
Very cool game. I literally have told every person that I have interacted with at PAX to go check out this game. In fact, I told David Brevik to go check out this game. So
you told David Brevik.
He asked me if I had played anything or seen anything at the con that was really cool. And I was like, yes, in fact, I have. And I mentioned two main games, Volunteer Ascension and War of Western Deep. I got to tell David Brevik, check these out. So,
right.
Yeah, just
the source material here.
Yeah. David, if you watch this, you're going to have to let us know what you think.
Yes, please email me, please.
Yeah.
War of Western Deep, for those of you who didn't see last year's episode, go watch it now, is a hand-drawn 24 FPS animated adventure game. Not an action adventure game. Think Monkey Island, Day of the Tentacle.
Almost like choose your own adventure book, but in an animated video game.
Yep.
And it's actually based off of a web series that's been going for like 14 years or something like that. Yeah, it's not War of the Western Deep, but it's something of the Western Deep or something like that. And they coincide with each other. The web novel actually follows a completely different character than who you play in War of the Western Deep, but there's a lot of crossovers between the two. The artist from that helped with the game. They're very hand in hand. And it is an adventure game that they take a much simpler approach to puzzle solving. They make it very clear what's interactable, and it puts the onus on you as the player to figure it out, have some critical thinking skills, have some understanding of real world applications, things of that nature. It doesn't make it a pixel hunt like a lot of those games used to be. This is much more of a critical thinking, deductive, remembering game. One of the things they said, well, I found this busted axe. Well, I remember back in that town, there's a blacksmith. Maybe he can repair it. That's not something the game's going to tell you, but as the player,
it's like, hey, here's the world, here's some stuff. We're literally going to hand you stuff, but we're not going to indicate like, oh, hey, this person has a quest to go fix this. It's, oh, hey, this is something I can pick up. What am I doing with this? Oh, yeah, that one guy can do X, Y, Z with this.
No quest markers, no auto teleporting you to where you need to go.
Yeah.
You have to
figure it out.
Hear, see, and read, and comprehend what you need to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And the art style in question is going to make furry lovers everywhere a big fan. I mean, I love it too. I got to be honest. It is drawn like Robin Hood from Disney.
Yeah. I was going to say, it gave me that classic like Fox Robin
That's
Hood
exactly
Disney
what they were
feel
going
to
for.
it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks great. And I'm pretty sure, like, of the 6 furries I found there, I'm pretty sure they were all there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, great costumes, but.
Yeah. The character design for Marin, the lead character that you play, she is a courier for the king. The premise is you're a king's courier. You get basically a missive from the king, and you're told you need to hand deliver this to this guy who lives across the border from us because I've tried to send it to him. dozen times and somebody's been shooting down our carrier pigeons. So you need to take your sword and you need to go over there and hand deliver this to him. Luckily, that said letter is written in a cipher that only him and this trusted advisor know. So whatever information is in this has not been discovered, but obviously it's pretty fucking important. So
Hell of a return to sender method.
right?
Yeah.
The demo basically leads you across solving this idea for this drawbridge, finding the people in this other nation that you're about to cross into are actually getting ready for war. And as soon as you cross the bridge into this other nation, wouldn't you know it, the bridge falls apart. Now you are stuck in a foreign country on the eve of war with your country, and you have to make alliances, figure out who to trust. It is a super rich story. I can't wait to experience in full.
I walked by their booth today and I was actually showing Christina
Mm-hmm.
that one. Did a quick walk around. I showed her a couple of the games and stuff, but I stopped at that one specifically. And I was just like, check this out.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Again, that's two of the games where I'm just like, I'm following their development. Like, I want to see what you guys are pumping out because it looks great. It looks like it's playing great. Personally, I tell people this all the time. Like, if I'm not playing a multiplayer game, I'm looking for a story rich. You could have like classic 8-bit graphics, but if your story just enthralls me, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Unfortunately, there's still quite a few years out from release. Last I recall, he said they're aiming for 2027. So yeah, they still got a lot of work to do. Got a long ways to go. Majority of that is the fact that it is hand drawn.
Yeah,
like it is hand drawn animation, 24 frames per second. So you've got somebody drawing 24 frames before you move 1 second.
Yeah, that's a lot of labor costs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's an undertaking, but boy, does the passion and love show through in the project.
I want to see what their budget looks like, because having an artist like that do that much work is not cheap.
I imagine the majority of the budget is art time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
War of the Western Deep, phenomenal. Definitely a great kids game.
Yeah,
for
100%.
sure.
Really good for critical thinking skills.
Yeah, but also just another really fun game for like, we're in our mid 30s now, but like just to have that sweet nostalgic, that brings me back to the days where I would just watch those Disney movies, chill, relax, but also still get your brain juices moving, you know? All right, we're going to jump things around because I'm tired of hearing
That's fine. I'm tired of hearing my voice too, please.
Be My Horde.
Yes. So this is one of the indie games that I came across. Action roguelike horde building game where you function as a necromancer priestess and you control a horde of minions that you resurrect from the dead. And as you travel around with them, you find other peasants and farmers that your horde kills, and then you subsequently revive them to add to your horde, and you just slowly grow and build power-ups over time. It was a lot of fun. It's very simple, like most roguelikes are at the very beginning, but then it slowly builds and gets more and more difficult and more nuanced as you go. It definitely had a lot of vibes of like a mobile game, but actually backed up the gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess, that would be my one criticism, is that the animations could be a little more refined. Otherwise, it was solid.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you were showing me the videos that saw on Steam, a lot of the imagery did seem predominantly static. Your horde wasn't, but you, the priestess that stood in the middle, just seemed like a static image.
Oh yeah, just flipped between left and right, like a still image. Like,
interesting.
Like Paper Mario.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simple controls and gameplay, but it also works great on the Steam Deck. I actually already bought the game.
Did you?
It's not on my Steam Deck yet, but it's on my laptop. And I haven't got very far, but I'm loving it so far.
Nice. There were a ton of roguelikes that came across my desk for this PAX. There's so many that I cannot do this many fucking roguelikes. There were a couple that I wanted to check out. Be My Horde was one that I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to schedule. But being media and working PAX, you have to make really hard calls because you only have so much time. And I was not going to do 20 fucking interviews in a day. So it was really a matter of like, what do I want to, I mean, the 4 games I've talked about right now were one day. It was one of those things that I was like, I'd like to check that out. But also I knew you guys were going to be coming. So I'm going to take what I'm going to take and they'll take what they'll take. And we'll come together and talk about it. I'm glad you got a chance to play it and that it's a good game.
Yeah, sweet.
I didn't know you had actually picked it up. It's really nice to know that even with the critiques we have for these games, that it can still be something that picked up and somebody's just like, there's not much to it, or it's janky, or, you know, whatever critique you have, but it's still fun. Like, I'm enjoying my time.
It's something
that's what
you can just pick up and start playing with, especially on the Steam Deck. It's going to be probably one of my go-to time killers. because it's simple, it's fun, and it's engaging. And sometimes that's all you need in a game.
Is it in early access right now, or is it full release?
I'll have to double check that, but I think it's still in early access.
That would make sense.
It is in early access.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah.
there is a lot more content to come. So they probably were focusing more on the gameplay than the actual animating, which is appropriate.
Yep,
Get it working first, and then pretty it up.
Yeah, then break it by pricking it up.
And then
Coding.
yes, because you changed this piece of grass and now the sky is purple. Yep, that's game development. If I have learned anything from the people that I have interviewed and the people I've asked that question, that's game development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus our limited experience on
UE,
5. Yeah. But you got another game that you checked out. We were actually talking about right before Russ got back earlier, RollerGirl.
RollerGirl is a casual slice of life adventure game. It's chill. It's like low intensity, but it's kind of different in the fact that the basic premise is you're a girl in about the early 90s era, smaller town, and you're just trying to get by during the days, and you just go do errands for people, rollerblading around, talk to this person, deliver this there, go find this thing that I lost. So chill, casual, but one of the key gameplay elements is that you're rocking headphones when you're MP3 player. That was what you played music on before your cell phone.
And before that, it was the Walkman.
Yes.
Oh,
So after CDs, but before smartphones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. iPod Shuffle.
So
back when the Zune was.
I have one.
Mhm.
I have one.
I hate that. I lost one.
I still I actually ended up buying one off of Facebook Marketplace because it's like, I want a Zune again. Yeah, they're cool. They're so cool. They were so ahead of their time.
Yeah. The choice of music that you decide to play will actually change the course and the experience you have while playing it. So
Huh.
if you're playing something chiller, low intensity, kind of just
Some
like
lo-fi.
some lo-fi or jazzy, your skating style will be a lot more relaxed and chill, and there's not as many obstacles. It'll be like sunny out. Let's say you break into like more higher tempo rock music or something a little more intense, start skating a lot more aggressively, and there's different obstacles, and people will react to you differently based on your attitude and what you're playing. So of course you're gonna be like maybe a little more brash and short with people versus chill and friendly or something, but different characters will react differently to your moods on that. And so it's kind of like a not a choose your own path adventure, but a choose your own pace adventure. It has a lot of vibes like Lake. You're basically a post woman in a very small town and you're just getting to know people around. It's like that, but a little more energetic in a very fun, casual way. I'm really looking forward to it because those are kind of my jam games, something to sit back and relax with.
I think the last thing that we brought up about that was just we're curious, especially with people reacting to you differently depending on what music you're playing and all that. Are there like challenge aspects? Oh, you're delivering something fragile, so you don't want to play heavier stuff because you're not roller skating and more aggressively.
Good question.
Are they going to implement things like that, or is it genuinely just I want to be chill, just meander through the streets, blading down there, and you're just playing some like jazz, some lo-fi or something like that? I think that would be really interesting to find out. Cause
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on it tomorrow. Again, at the time I was getting around to it, it was getting short on time and the crowds were still there, but definitely want to get some hands onto it because it's still pre-release. There's no demo out yet.
Is it all original soundtrack or is it actual?
From the Steam trailer, it seems original.
Okay.
I doubt there's any licensed music in it, but it'd be interesting if you could plug in your own music.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because back in the old Xbox days, the original, you could actually burn CDs to your hard drive and then have them when you played games like Burnout and Jet Set Radio and stuff. So it'd be really cool if they implemented something old school like that, where you put your own music into the game.
Yeah. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I don't even know if that feature really exists outside of like PC nowadays, though, unfortunately.
It probably doesn't. That sounds like a lot of legal liability for a big company.
Right. Because you're technically creating a copy, even though legally you're allowed to have a copy of one digital copy of a physical item you own, but it's still licensing at that point, right? Like, and how do you write the code to make those mesh together to make recognize your music playing choice and stuff like that? And I guess it could theoretically read the metadata of what genre it is and then match it up. But
Or just drop it in a folder that says this is intense music. This is chill music.
Yeah. Either way, it's all black magic to me.
Slow walk to AC/DC. Unfortunately, it is planned release date is to be announced.
Yeah,
so that's sad because it's probably going to be a year plus. Then.
Yeah, likely. But we might see a demo at Next Fest.
Maybe we'll see.
Did you play Jet Set Radio?
Oh yeah, it does have with the movement style. It does have Jet Set Radio vibes.
Awesome. And I'm sold.
Yes,
I'm sold.
This is when I actually got to speak to one of the development team members as I was walking by with Christina. But SpellFarers was one of those ones that like it just kind of like caught my eye for some reason. The art style gave me a lot of Wizards 101 vibes. But I was interested enough, like I walked by, stood there, stared at their screen for a little bit, and it seemed really interesting because it's advertised as a farming magical adventure simulator. It's by Digital Leisure, which they got a handful of games according to Steam.
Okay.
But the dev team lady that I actually spoke to said that this is the second game that her team has worked on. I think the other one is a completely different genre. It's like a casino game, but it's an MMO casino game.
Okay.
So it's just like you jump on there, basically you wander around a casino, you play like blackjack, baccarat, like all these other casino games. You earn money, you update your avatar, and you just go around doing that.
Okay.
And they're just like, yeah, like now we're completely pivoting and we're doing this slice of life magic semi-adventure type game. It looks great for what it is. But it actually released into early access last year, July 30th. It's still in access, but their dev team is really small. It's composed of 15, I think she said up to like 20 people. I was really surprised based on what I saw and what the reviews on Steam were actually saying. I think it's only like 37% positive reviews, so they got mostly negative reviews.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see that. I mean, there was not a whole lot of reviews for it, but that's a significant margin. It shocked both of us when we read it.
Yeah.
And we started to dig into it, and it seems like most of them are just, I guess people don't understand what early access means sometimes.
Most of the time. Most of the time. They expect AAA polish in early access.
Yeah.
It's a very common issue.
There was a lot of comments like, hey, this item didn't spawn for me, or hey, this doesn't feel complete, or something.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
or like super basic graphic bugs. Like I think one of the ones that I most commonly read on the negative reviews were, oh, you edit the lips and they overlap weird, so you end up seeing your character's teeth for some reason. And early access
happens
the bug.
AAA games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know what game released not in early access and had faces disappear? Assassin's Creed Unity. You'd be floating teeth and eyes. It was absolute horror.
That was a AAA.
That was a AAA game.
Wow. Yeah, surprising.
Right?
What I really liked as I talked to, I'm sorry, but I forget your name, so I really, really apologize, and I hope you're actually watching this.
They probably will. I'll send it to them.
You're a witch. You're a student in this academy, and you get sent to this town as, I guess it's like part of a school project. But this magical event happens, so you're actually sent to this town as part of a small investigation type thing. Like, hey, this thing happened. This professor's going to be your contact, but this person is gone. The second half of this game is that you're actually trying to solve this mystery of what happened to this person, the town that you're in.
Windgrove?
Yes, Windgrove.
All right.
Which, love the name.
That's a good name. Yeah, that's a solid town name. Solid fantasy town name.
You interact with the townsfolk. You get to learn their trades. I think there's like a blacksmith. You actually get your own hut, your own house. So the town itself is kind of like the tower. It's a social hub. The servers are relatively limited to, I think she said it was probably like 10 to 15, maybe 20-ish players or something like that. You interact with other students in the area. Your house, your hut that you decorate, manage yourself. You do farm, animals.
A little bit of Animal Crossing style to it.
Yeah. The slice of life portion. Sure. But then there's that actual like storytelling part of this game where you're going out, you're trying to figure out what happened to this missing person, what this magical event was. And I was like, this is a really nice, just like super casual. You've got just enough magic, fantasy aspect. You can be super chill, play this solo, or you can have some friends. You invite them to your hut, which is its own separate instance from the town.
Cool.
So it's not just a bunch of random people running through doing, whatever, which is
Typical player housing.
yeah. Looking at these reviews and what they were saying, the one dude who was just like completely trashing this game, he went on like this one paragraph rant. I'm like, what the heck? This dude had 0.2 playtime. And I was like, you know what? That's not even 20 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
1/10 of an hour is 6 minutes.
Yeah. I was on. I think I did. Obviously, I did my math wrong because I came out to 12, but.
That's not a lot.
Sounds like they didn't invest much time.
It sounds to me like they opened up Character Creator, did their thing, looked at the menu, saw Cash Shop, and then just had just went straight red Alt F4. And he's like, no, this game is trash. I want you guys to know I will be downloading this game. I will be playing it. I will be testing it. And hopefully maybe in the next episode or two when I join you guys again, I will give an honest review of this game because it looks great. It looks fun. I want to give it an honest attempt and let people know, like, hey, don't just look at these reviews or at least read the reviews.
Yeah.
Especially for early access games.
Yeah, you have to.
Really never know.
Yeah.
Let me know when you do that because we'll team up on there and see how it works.
Yeah.
If you both like it, write a Steam review.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We will. We got to offset that mostly negative.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I will say is the game is currently free.
No, that's cool.
It's absolutely free. And one thing that really I enjoyed, it's Steam Deck compatible.
Hell yeah.
Even better.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. If you're making something Steam Deck compatible, you've been out for a little over a year now, and you're still early access, it's like, okay, cool. I'm going to give you guys a shot because if your game is Steam Deck compatible, online capable with a couple of friends, like, I'm going to check you guys out and I'm going to give you guys an honest review. Yeah. SpellFarers looks like fun, guys.
I don't know how you can complain that hard about a free game. And I don't understand how you can complain that hard about a free game that has a cash shop. Game development costs money.
It does.
If your game is free, you have to make your money somewhere.
Yeah, and that was going to be one of the last things I brought up about it. One of the things they said was the only cash shop mentioned, they do talk about it, of all the things that you have to do in the game, the cash shop is there to buy in-game currency that you can use to speed up the process. I'm thinking like crops, maybe something to do with like farm animals, like it takes a certain amount of time, you come back later.
So
like mobile games.
An optional freemium mechanic.
Yeah.
Yes.
For those who don't want to wait.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, you're just paying for the convenience of your time.
And you're not buying premium currency. You're buying existing in-game currency to speed that stuff up. I don't see a problem.
I don't see an issue.
I don't
with
know.
that.
As long as it's optional.
And as long as it doesn't go the route, well, I guess if it's in-game currency, then it wouldn't matter. But Clash of Clans was one of those, right? Where like you could buy the currency to speed it up. When I was deployed, I played that. And I made it a challenge for myself to see how far I could get spending absolutely nothing. And it got to a point where I think I was upgrading from Town Hall 8 to 9 or something like that. And it was like, we'll upgrade in 73 days. Done, uninstall.
Yep, it was driving you to do that as part of the mechanic.
Right. So as long as that game doesn't do that, which I guess arguably it couldn't if it's all just the same currency.
Yeah.
It could, but it'd be weird if it did.
I don't see how
that would scale that way.
Scaling, you're getting like a higher quality cow or something like that. Like, oh yeah, this one takes 15 minutes to milk or, whatever.
Yeah.
But this premium cow takes 30 months.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a wild exaggeration. But like,
I'm having Eve Online flashbacks right now. 73 days to research Ship 5.
Yeah, but needless to say, SpellFarers is one of those games where I'm personally going to download, check out. I'm going to test it both on the Steam Deck and my PC to see what differences in the gameplay there are and what kind of feedback I can actually give this development team. This is my experience. This is what I feel you guys could do better. They'll take my notes, they'll roll with it, work with what they can, and improve what they can because that's what reviews are meant to be, right? That's what we as a team are here for to help provide. I think another really fun one that you mentioned that really tickled my pickle is Terrible Lizards.
Yeah.
I can't believe I said that with a straight face.
That was bravo, sir. Y'all like dinosaurs?
I do like dinosaurs.
Yeah, you like dinosaurs? Do you like parkour?
I love parkour.
Do you like horror?
Yeah, I love horror.
Do you love the 90s?
Of course.
All right, so Terrible Lizards is all of those things.
Fantastic.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, so Terrible Lizards is just an awesome short game They're aiming for about 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. There's only like 4 levels in the game, so it's going to be a nice short T-Rex sized bite game, right? Just chomp it and get it done. The amount of joy that I felt playing that game was stupid because they nailed 90s nostalgia for being a kid in a dinosaur museum in the best ways possible. You've been to the Smithsonian.
Of course.
Right, because you grew up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You've gone to the dinosaur exhibit as a child, right?
That was that's my second.
Did you not want to climb the dinosaurs and just run around and touch everything?
Hell yeah.
So the premise of this game is you're driving through Arizona and your car breaks down. You stop at this gas station, call a tow truck driver, says, gonna be a fucking while, check out this museum across the way. Character named Jordan's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll see if I can get a ride into town from them. You go into this dinosaur museum and it's empty. There's cars in the parking lot. There's nobody to fuck around. So you're just walking around trying to find people, and it's an empty dinosaur museum. So you can fucking run around, and it's parkour. So like Mirror's Edge, parkour, run on walls, jump, sprint, dive, slide. Mirror's Edge, parkour in a dinosaur exhibit.
All right, that sounds awesome.
Dude, it's so fucking cool. So like, we haven't even got to the best part. First of all, right off the bat, they have a fucking stuffy that you can just pick up and run around with. Just a dinosaur stuffy plush that you would see at the Smithsonian, like a brontosaurus or something like that, right?
So like companion cube, but dinosaur stuffing.
Yes. Yeah. And if you die, you lose it. Immediately asked them, I was like, is there going to be a trophy for completing the game with the stuffy? And they're like, yes. Fuck yeah.
Perfect.
So anyways, you run around. It's a little bit of a puzzle game. You have to solve the environment, get through stuff. But one of my favorite things, where this all started being incredibly stupid fun for me, was I got into the office to get through this gate, and there's a bank of wall switches. And you can walk up to them. They do nothing. But if you hit E, you can watch them flick up and down. Gives you a nice sound effect. It's a random pattern, so you just sit there and slam E, and it's just like click, 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 click. It just nails the childhood fun.
Intrusive OCD thoughts. It's the game.
All the intrusive thoughts we had as children in these situations, finally getting to act on them. It was so satisfying. I couldn't stop doing it. I was just like, sitting there just clicking.
Imagine we spent 250 hours developing this map, and he's just flipping the switches.
The developer sat there and looked at me with this stupid giant smile on my face, and I know he was laughing at me, and I didn't give him a fuck.
You know what that was? You know what that was? It was the opposite of what you said. It's like we spent 250 hours on this one switchboard alone, maybe 30 hours on the rest of the game.
And he's just like, I'm loving it. He's doing it. He's doing the thing.
He's
So
put the square in the square.
So great. So I finally get back to the game after a couple minutes of being just stupid, having fun. And there's this back room and there's like mascots. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a mascot horror game. Because there's like a brontosaurus kind of animal and then 2 others or whatever. So you solve another puzzle and then you end up right back in front of that hallway and one of them's missing. Okay, that's what's going to chase me. Sure enough, it does chase you, but we'll get to that in a second. The next room you get into, bunch more dinosaur exhibits. You got to climb all over them. And you see him a little bit further down the way. And he's like puking something up through the suit on the ground. It scurries off because the lights all go out, of course. So shit's dark and ominous and all this and what you'd expect. Okay. And it's this lava-looking puke on the ground, black and molten. And I'm like, that doesn't seem normal. I'm going to ignore that for now. Just run around. There's a giant globe in the middle of the room. Guess what you can do? You can fucking spin that thing. So what do? I run over there and slap E.
I see this Cthulhu monster over there, but first, let me spin this globe.
Huh, that doesn't look healthy and very ominous. But hang on, let me spin this candle.
I'm telling you, man, again, the second time playing this game, I was like, that's a stupid amount of joy that just happened. Like, just no reason I should have that much fun.
It's the simple thing.
It really is. It really is. So you solve a couple of parkour puzzles, get into this other room, reboot the power, get through the security door, and then he starts chasing you for real. And dude, it felt so good to run away from a bad guy. so satisfying because it's Mirror's Edge style. So you're sprinting, you're sliding over stuff, vaulting over things. The movement felt tight, it felt good, it felt responsive. So fun. Why that style of running in a horror game isn't more common is beyond me, because in a real world situation, you don't have a weapon and some fucking creature's coming at you. You're not gonna go, oh, you're gonna go, fuck, and sprint the shit out of there. You're gone.
You're going to use the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, your adrenaline's going to take over and you're just going to book it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt really natural for the situation. This is a college kid. Dude's maybe 18, 19 years old. He's not going to fight whoever this creep is in this mascot outfit. You get away from him, and then you get down into this basement area, and there's a giant tunnel at the other end of this basement that's leading down. And the mascot costume is discarded in front of you. Okay. Interesting. So you walk and you start to go down this tunnel, and it gets real dark. And then you get attacked. Not quite attacked, but this monster jumps up in front of you. Straight up dinosaur looking, creepy, earth-dwelling dino monster. And it jumps at you, and its mouth goes to open to bite you. And there's a human skull face inside of the dinosaur that's about to eat you that screams at you. And then the screen goes black, and that's the end of the demo. And I looked at the dev, and I was like, I didn't expect that.
That's wicked.
Yeah. Dude, so cool.
Demo.
I was like,
Yeah.
just no notes. No notes. I mean, just everything from just this sheer stupid joy of flicking switches, spinning a globe, free running parkour, and then the hook of like, okay, it's not just some dude in a costume. It's a creepy fucking dinosaur from somewhere deep in the earth.
Yeah.
I know it's supposed to be creepy and scary. When you said the mouth opens up, the first thing that pops in my head is when the teeth open wide and there's more teeth inside. That's amore. That's what just popped in my brain.
It was one of those things, it wasn't so much scary as it was, that was not what I expected. I had a chance to talk to Amanda, who I actually met in line literally earlier that morning, who does a business podcast. But she also on the side does video game design. Like, that's her main thing. And then she has this business podcast on the side. It's like, oh, what game do you make? She's like, well, I'm here with Terrible Lizards. I was like, I'm going to see you at 11. So I was talking to her about it, and she's saying, like, it gets real dark when you get underground. Not just atmospherically, but story-wise. The story gets real creepy, so I'm for it. I want to check it out. I was sold immediately. I looked at this dude, and I was like, all right, two things. Thank you for letting all of my intrusive thoughts win. And two, you need to make that stuffy that's in the game, because I want that stuffy.
Oh, yeah.
That stuffy's fucking
A+ merch potential there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible Lizards, I believe, again, another potential demo coming during the next fest. Don't sleep on it. If you like Mirror's Edge at all, do not sleep on it. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Call of Elyndra. It looks super fun. It is a slice of life. Live in this town. You can farm, build up your own place. Just kind of Stardew Valley-esque type deal. And just make it super cozy. But it also has its own kind of action adventure. You can go out as an adventurer, hunt things. And it just looks really fun. It really caught my attention. I loved it. I walked by it and I had to stop for a second, pivot. I'm like, okay, boom. This has my attention right now. What is this? It looks like a lot of fun. I really want to try it out. I think this one's also in early access. I don't have too much information just because Steam really doesn't have a lot on it right now. But I wanted this to be just kind of my honorable mention of the free side of this podcast. It looks great. The retro pixelated 2.5D kind of style to it just speaks to me. You know how I love my pixel art. Mm-hmm. This is game number 3 that I have my eye on, that I'm going to be following the development on. Check it out. It is on Steam. So this is my honorable mention. The Time Crisis light gun.
Yeah. It's important to say, for those of you who might be new to the show, where we get our name, CoinDrop, is from arcades. We've been gaming that long, since arcades were a thing. And the idea was you take your quarter and you drop it on the machine in a line. And that holds your spot in a line when you're ready to play an arcade cabinet.
We might need to go back a little bit further. An arcade is a place in the mall.
Generally in a mall.
Bowling alley.
Yeah. Wherever there are arcade cabinets. And that's kind of where my original co-host and I came up with the name CoinDrop. This is the origins of gaming, the origins of our culture. And well, light guns kind of spawned out of the arcades and were super popular in the early 90s, mid 2000s, because we had CRT TVs. And you could use this device that was honestly really way ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, LCD TVs, you can't do that anymore. They do not work with LCD panels, so we lost Time Crisis, House of the Dead, Steel Gunner, all of those
Area
classic
51,
Area
Police
51.
Trainer.
Yeah, I was going to say House of the Dead was my big one.
Yeah.
I think the last one of those I played before I lost track, that was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Just actually re-released House of the Dead 2 Redux on Steam, I think it was, but it's not a light gun game anymore. It's mouse and keyboard because light guns don't work. So Time Crisis, specifically Game, is the name of their company. They did a Kickstarter, and they actually worked with Namco, specifically Namco. At that time, these were just Namco's property. Bandai used to be its own company. They merged, kind of like Square Enix. Anyways, they worked with Namco, and in fact, the original team that built Time Crisis.
No way.
Hand in hand, literally have pictures of them in conversation with them, got actual art from panels that they drew of how the game would look. Hand-drawn art, just amazing level of cooperation with them and partnership. And they built this set-top box, looks like a PS1 CD case.
It's literally like the size of my hand.
Yeah, it just
Really, I saw the marketing of what it was, but I never actually saw one at the booth. I guess I wasn't looking.
It's only about yay big.
That's why I didn't see it.
It's what the light gun is actually connected to. And
Yeah.
they had it sitting, it was almost like under the TV that they had right there. So it's really easy to miss.
So what's interesting is that box, there's 2 being made by them. They've got 3 different levels of this package you can get. We'll get to that later. But basically the base one just has Time Crisis on it. It has 2 USB-C ports in, an HDMI out, and a USB-C import in the back for power, which they built this box to run off the same amount of wattage as your average cell phone charger.
No way.
Yeah. So you can take your cell phone charger and plug it into the back of this thing to power it.
That's dope.
The entire design around it is literally being portable. So it's small, it's convenient. If you're traveling, if you just want to pop it on a TV somewhere, easy. And now, technically, light gun is a misnomer because they don't work. These guns have cameras in them, and they use some kind of wizardry black magic to map the TV to know exactly where you're looking or you want it to look to actually fire the gun. It's all in the interview. So if you guys want to watch that, he goes into detail on it. It uses coordinates based on what it's seeing and where you've calibrated it. So unlike the old light guns that had a lot of give, they had a lot of leeway. Calibration on this thing is absolutely critical if you want good aim. I mean, just as much as like your wrist being tweaked.
That's actually throwing me back right now, because I remember getting I believe it was Time Crisis 2. You had to calibrate that thing on your TV, and if it wasn't right, you weren't hitting jack.
Yeah, at least on the old CRT TVs, you had a little bit of leeway there.
It was kind of a gray zone that you're shooting at. I can imagine with something that's high def, gonna have to be pretty precise.
Yeah, so you really want to take your time to calibrate, because even me, I noticed that my calibration was off, and so I had to constantly correct my aim. So there is a little bit of a learning curve, but it also kind of plays to getting good at these games again. I used to crush Time Crisis in the arcades, and now it's like, oh shit, I actually missed him. Fucking tweak that a little bit. It takes skill again. It takes time and getting good at it.
And that was the appeal of it. Is not that, hey, how quickly can I move a mouse? You actually had to point that gun where it needed to go, and quickly and accurately and consistently. And that's what I loved about them.
Yeah, they were very fun. So there's 3 different levels of the box. The first one is just the box and just one light gun, and it comes only with Time Crisis, because the original Time Crisis is only single player. They didn't actually add 2-player until Time Crisis 2. That was kind of the big hook with 2. So it comes with just that. If you go to the next level up, you get 1 gun in a box that comes with Time Crisis, Point Blank, that's what it was, Point Blank, Steel Gunner, and Steel Gunner 2, which Steel Gunner and Steel Gunner 2 I'd never heard of. They never came to arcades. They were a Japanese-only game. All of these games are Namco's games, and those 2 never came to America.
I was about to say, I don't think I ever recall hearing about
I've
those.
never heard of those either.
Yeah, they're fun. They're like a bullet hell first-person shooter. Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. The way that it was put to me while I was playing it was like, yeah, it's kind of like a game where you shoot the stuff coming at you and you kill the other enemies out of convenience, like just out of like your.
Yeah, no, that's what a lot of like scenarios in Area 51 was, where you have an enemy shooting rockets at you,
And you have to
gotta
worry
shoot
more about
all the aliens while keeping the rockets from hitting
Yeah.
you at the same time.
And then they've got the next step up, which comes with 2 light guns, a pedal.
What's the pedal for?
The pedals for Time Crisis, as well
cover.
as the
That's
cover
right,
system.
the cover.
Mhm. So what's interesting is the first level doesn't come with the pedal, but it only comes with Time Crisis. So I'm not really sure. I didn't really think to ask about that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm assuming because it has A and B buttons on the side of it that you would use one of those in place of the pedal, but I don't.
Where the pedal brings you more of arcade cabinet experience.
Exactly.
I did hear when we were talking with them that they do plan on bringing more games online, particularly the later Time Crisis and other titles that Namco does have access to, but they're holding off for basically the sales of these boxes to see how popular, how viable the marketing strategy is.
Yeah, because this is entirely new tech. This did not exist before Game sat down and
they're reviving an entire genre of video games.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that they're trying to be cautious with it, but are excited at the prospect.
Yeah.
Considering the titles they're putting into this, I'm really hoping they garner the attention they want.
Yeah, Namco's very excited for the potential. They're very happy about the partnership. This particular box will only ever have these 4 games. They're not adding more to it. They might release another one in the future.
Mhm.
They've also said that you'll be able to buy these systems and items a la carte. So if you want to get just the set-top box, just a gun, you'll have those options. If you buy, version 1, which comes with only 1 gun and Time Crisis, you can buy a pedal later. You can buy the other box that has the other 4 on it instead. I personally wouldn't recommend buying anything less than the second tier, because then you get all 4 games.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Yeah, if that's all they're going to have on it, you'd want to have all that they can offer.
That's kind of my thought.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And honestly, Point Blank has like 400 games on it. They're all like little shooting gallery. Like, it's a lot of different versions of games.
My second favorite light gun game ever is Police Trainer, and that's all it is just arcade time trial and mini game challenges.
No, like most people our generation that play a light gun game, everyone knows Duck Hunt.
Yep.
Yeah, Duck Hunt. That was the OG NES game, and I thought I was always good at that game because I would sit way back because it was in my parents' room and had the TV set up by the doorway, and so I would sit way back on the bed and shoot at the TV, and I would still hit the ducks. I was like, man, I'm so good at this. And later I realized, I grew up. Because I sat further away, the light beam became bigger. And so I was just shotgun blasting the whole screen.
Yeah. When we went to Bellingham, we found a bar that was a gamer bar that had just a ton of shit. And sure enough, they had Duck Hunt on an old CRT TV.
Nice.
So we had the classic Air Force Army duel. And
Army 1, of course.
Of course. We say that like it was a blowout. It was close. But you broke 1,000,000 fucking points in that game. Yeah. That was close.
It actually got to the point where I was just like, all right, I think I'm just done.
Yeah, it was close. I got to 750,000. And then the last time we went around, he was just like, Dustin. I was like, back to this. The prices they seem expensive, but considering the tech that's gone into it, it's also reasonable. And this isn't something that they just said, yeah, we're going to release it at this price. They spent a lot of time debating price and the amount of tech they had to do, the R&D, all of it, because again, they revived a genre of gaming that's been dead since 2010.
Yeah.
It is $99 for the base version, which is just the light gun and the set-top box with Time Crisis. It is $149 for the second version, the deluxe, I guess I say, which is the 4 games on the set-top box, the pedal and the light gun, and it's $199 for adding the second gun. So assumedly, the gun, if you were to buy it separately, would be about $50.
And that's acceptable for as far as gaming peripherals go.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Considering controllers are $70 nowadays.
Yeah.
Honestly, those prices seem super fair to me.
They are. They're pricey to me right now just because I'm a broke fucking college student right now.
It is, and then, again, it is an early adopter tax too. They do have to recoup some of that R&D cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at least what they're offering you for what you're paying for
Nostalgia.
is the nostalgia, but also the time investment and just the enjoyability of something you can't play on anything else right now.
Yeah.
Unless you're a super enthusiast and buy these cabinets that are thousands of dollars.
Or get a CRTV and then good luck finding a copy of Time Crisis. I want to talk about their ROMs that they run, because they're ROMs on this.
Yeah.
They are hand built by Namco. They are Namco's built ROMs directly ported from the old cabinets and then upscaled so they look beautiful on LCD. Because there's always something lost when you translate CRTV style old school games to modern tech.
So they're not remastered. They
No.
just refurbished
Yes.
the ROM.
To the point where when they built the gun, they had to add an extra button. They actually added 2 buttons. We'll get to the second one in a minute, but they added a button for inserting a coin into the machine because it still requires a coin for this ROM. So you boot the game, you hit a button on the side to put your coin in, and now you start playing.
You can't get more authentic than that.
Right.
Please tell me they have that classic coin sound that goes down the slide and then clinks down in there.
I didn't hear that, but it was so loud in there, it's entirely possible it exists or there's some kind of coin sound. Because, you know, when you put a coin in the games, they would make a noise.
Yeah.
So beyond just the physical coin itself, but like the actual game itself.
Or the disappointing clunk of when it hits the coin return slot.
When the damn thing doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah.
One might say we really look forward to that coin drop sound.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You sound like
Yeah. Hey, this is your guys' moment here to take this idea and run with it. We don't know if it actually does that, but
Make it do that.
make it do that.
please make it do that.
You're already hitting the nostalgic factor. Really nail that shit in. Just take it and run, because take my money.
So there's a couple other things they added because they couldn't do the force feedback that was like super common in the which is my favorite, the kickback, the recoil. They added a vibration feature, which actually feels pretty good. So there's a vibrator switch you can turn on and off. That sounds. I was waiting for it.
Saw that.
You can turn it on or off. Obviously, you're gonna play with it on because it's so much better when things vibrate in your hand.
Phrasing.
That is something that I
We are
miss.
such children.
Yes, we are. Dude, I go back to my comment about flipping the bank of switches. Okay.
You just can't give veterans anything nice.
That's a bit of nostalgia too that I miss is some of those cabinets. I can't remember what game it was, but it actually had like the pneumatic like action built in like an SMG, and it just rattled you. And it was so satisfying.
House of the Dead had
Dead.
Yes.
I think it was 2 that had that one.
Yes.
3 had the shotgun, and that shit was too much fun. Now, the last button they've added on this is something that, to be honest, it's a modern convenience that we didn't have. They added a pause button.
I'm blinking if you can't see.
They added a pause button. So that way, if you have to piss, you don't piss your pants playing Time Crisis. Or you don't forfeit your run on Time Crisis. You can pause the game now. I know that's so revolutionary, Chris. You can't handle it. It's amazing.
That was part of the challenge. When you play these games, there was no waiting at like the end level mark or enter in your high score. No, when you enter the level, it rolled right to the next one. It was a start to finish go.
You either pissed your pants or you lost your run. That's how it went.
That's what it was.
I had a lot of wet pants.
You ain't cool till you pee your pants.
That's what Adam Sandler said.
The moment you said that, my brain immediately went back. Because at Dave and Buster's,
Yeah.
I didn't pee my pants. I shit myself.
Yes. Oh, high five, buddy.
Oh, but you know what? Number 2 on the high scoreboard.
Hey, number
There
2
you
in
go.
the pants.
You earned it. Listen,
My mom was not.
I can't imagine that she would be.
Oh my God, that's so
But that's the level of enjoyment that they're going to be reviving out of these games, and that's why they put some time into it, because they know there's the people who will shit their pants to win at these things. And now that you've made it convenient, what's stopping you?
Yeah. I plan on buying one probably this holiday season. We're asking for one for Christmas because they're fucking awesome. I turned to them and I was like, all right, so here's what you got to do. Time Crisis 2 is great and all, but you need to make House of the Dead.
Yeah.
You need a House of the Dead one. I want House of the Dead 1, 2, and 3. I want a
That's also on
shotgun
Namco, I
controller.
feel, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
If it is, it's got to be in the lineup.
Even if it's not, if this thing is successful, they can go to whoever does own House of the Dead, which I believe is Namco. They kind of cornered the market when it came to the light gun games.
It was either Namco or Bandai. Either way.
Yeah.
They basically picked the IP.
Yeah, and just be like, hey, we did this thing. We made tech that's dead alive again.
You want
They
to
just
sell more games
necromanced
again?
the shit out of this.
I was going to say Jurassic Park did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But I think they did ask whether or not they should. And the answer was yes.
It wasn't House of the Dead. It was the Jurassic Park light gun game.
Oh, yes,
where
it
you were
was.
in the
In the
car.
Jeep. Yeah.
in the Jeep, and you had to shoot at the
I
dinosaurs.
think there were several of them because the one I'm thinking of was like sci-fi,
Interesting.
cyber or something.
There was also like
it was an aliens cabinet.
Oh,
I think that's what it was.
there's and there's still like modern ones. Like there's the Halo Raven Team one.
Yeah.
There's personally my favorite of like the modern games is the Terminator Salvation one, because that one's got an AR platform one with a freaking grenade launcher.
There's
on.
still the Jurassic Park.
There's still a Jurassic Park one. Dude, there's so many good light gun shooters. You guys have a potential to make all kinds of different peripherals, shotgun style, SMG style, and I guarantee you people will buy them. As long as I got the pump on the shotgun, I'm all day.
I'm curious too, and it's maybe too early to ask about this, but what it's actually running on the inside of that machine, because I can see an indie scene for this too. And basically having some sort of light dev kit for indie developers to make their own light gun game.
Potentially. That would be really cool.
I would imagine and I really hope that if this, I'm going to call it a prototype platform.
It's a big swing.
Yeah, if this prototype platform really takes off, they're going to look for a way to build their next model so that they can just be like, hey, download this update for these new ROMs. Because I mean, that's what this thing is going to be playing. It's playing ROMs.
Yeah.
Like
Until potentially we get a dev kit and people start making new light gun games.
And so I mean, I'm thinking that they're hopefully, fingers crossed, that's the direction they want to take this in. Should this actually take off the way we hope it does, that's the way to market this thing. You do less work. You can easily import ROMs.
They have the potential. You have the potential to be the Steam of light gun games.
That's the way to put it.
Yeah.
But that's the bottom line. You have literally created the tech that if you develop a way for developers to make games for this, you could corner an entirely untapped market that's gone extinct.
Yep.
Food for thought. Keep us posted.
We're hungry.
We are.
Just saying.
Salivating.
Yes. Give us more. I think that is actually the end of our main content.
Yeah. It's fire from here.
We still have a lot more to cover over on Patreon too. So probably another hour of content over there. It's getting late, so it's going to be rough and we might get a little loopy, but hey, that might be fun. So join us over on Patreon.
For $3, you can watch my brain damage in action.
And mine slowly develop in the process.
All right. What do we got for quickfire?
We're starting with Tarkov.
Tarkov. They were at PAX. I haven't played them since you actually bought me the game years ago.
Did I?
Yes. You were like, hey, play this with me. And it was so jank at that time, I got killed multiple times by invisible scabs. And I was like, fuck this game.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
It's been a hot minute.
It sure has. I don't even know if I still have my login information. It doesn't matter. Anyways, they are releasing 1.0 in November. They're finally coming out of early access. And so they were at PAX, and I got to play the game because I hadn't played it in so long. I was like, yeah, let's see how it is. It's a game. It's still a game. I asked them about, I didn't bother doing an on-video interview with them because they didn't seem too interested. My very first question to them were what their thoughts were about the amount of cheaters that are in their game and what they might do about it. And the response was, well, every online game has their cheaters.
Point.
Okay. So you're not going to do anything is what I got. Cool. Okay. Definitely won't be playing your game then. That's fine. Now, what I did get to play was what is coming or has already come. I don't know where they're at in their development cycle, what's released at the time of this video. So we're just going to talk about it. I played a PvE co-operable story mode.
That's definitely a departure, but
it's still an extraction.
No, so that was actually part of their original story back when they announced their game. They wanted everything to be one giant map. There was actually like a storyline and like
now
they're you could follow.
Yeah, and now they're actually pushing those out. So like that's what grabbed me was like, oh, it's narrative now. Like we've got a reason for why we're escaping Tarkov, what's going on, who the scabs are, who these other PMCs are. So that was cool. However, my biggest complaint about the game was there is no indication you're being shot. And when I got frustrated by this because I was looting someone, hearing gunshots going, those clearly aren't at me because I don't know if you've ever heard a gunshot coming towards you, but it zips.
Zips and pings.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, those are outbound shots. They're not at me. No big deal. Well, I had no information. I was getting shot at the whole time I was looting. And when I came out of loot, I looked up and died. Cool. Great. Totally understandable. Game is still in early access. They're still developing. However, when I went to talk to the developer about this, he's like, well, what do you think we should do? I was like, well, other shooters generally tell you when you're being shot. They've read in the screen, give you a vibration if you're playing on controller. And he's like, yes, other shooter. And I was like, that's a really bad way to respond to somebody who's giving you feedback. You have tons of options. You can make a sound effect of the bullet actually making the proper sound of whizzing past you. You could make it ping off my chest plate, have my character go, ah. I get you're trying to make a cinematic experience, but not knowing when we're getting shot at feels like being cheated. And that's Tarkov.
I played Tarkov off and on basically for the decade that it's been out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember multiple times, it's just me. I'm sitting there bounding with my current roommate. We're trying to go through places. And then all of a sudden, it's just world goes sideways, screens go black. You died.
Yeah. That's not fun.
Shit. Okay.
That's not fun.
No.
That's not how real world combat works either. If you're trying to sell a cinematic experience, I got that. But there needs to be feedback. There needs to be understanding that bullets are coming at me, not just around me.
Well, the cinematic experience is the sounds.
Right. The reality.
The visceral experience of it.
Mhm.
It's not just.
Yeah, I'm okay with not having hit markers. If I'm shooting at a guy and he disappears, I've killed him. If I'm, shooting him in the face, he falls over, he's dead, obviously. No hit marker's fine, but there needs to be some level of indication that I am the one being hit. That's all I was saying. And this guy was super unreceptive to it. So Battlestar games, Battleship games, whatever the hell your company is.
Battle State, I believe.
Whatever it is. I wish you the best of luck. You've got your audience. I don't think you're going to get much more than that.
Yeah, I want to love that game, but
I would like to, but there's better extraction shooters at the bottom line.
There are two more recent extraction shooters that play like Tarkov, have the same in detail level of the game, don't have 80% of their player base cheating. I love those games. I liked Tarkov for what they originally announced they were going to be, and I'm really mad that I bought their top tier package, and now they are completely diverting from what they said they were originally going to be.
Yeah.
But hey, that's life, right?
Yep, living there.
Yep.
Let's talk about God Save Birmingham.
Yeah. So this one's relatively short, a lot shorter than Tarkov. Saw them last year. They were here last year as well. For those of you who don't know about it, God Save Birmingham is a zombie survival game where you play as a survivor during a zombie outbreak in the Middle Ages of Birmingham. They're actually working to rebuild to scale the size and population of Birmingham as a sandbox. So 1-to-1 scale for in-game.
Hell yeah.
That's a huge undertaking. But the game is still very, very early in development. They actually just grew the team. They went from 2 developers to 20 very recently. So they've made a lot of changes. They've polished a lot of the animations. They've added a new weapon, which is an axe instead of just a pitchfork. Dismemberment looks a lot better now because you can cut shit in half, stomp zombie heads, all kinds of fun stuff.
Nice.
They've added crafting recipes for cooking stuff. They're going to add a hygiene system. There's a lot more to come on this. It's still really early, but if you like zombie survival games, it looks really cool. And they're hoping to have a game at Next Fest. And when beta comes, they're hoping to drop online co-op.
I only played for a couple of minutes because, again, standing in lines, me standing.
Yeah.
Horrible knee.
Yeah.
But I did play a little bit of it. It's really fun. Like, you're literally just like some random peasant stuck here and grab a bucket, throw it at a zombie that's chasing you, get away from it, jump a fence, use a pitchfork, the axe. I actually didn't get around to picking that one up.
Yeah.
It looks like fun. The dismemberment does look pretty dope. It's still, graphics-wise, pretty rough. Bones and the foundation, it's all there.
Yes.
It's all there.
Yes.
Like, it's literally just the visuals that need to get polished. But like right now, I don't care. You're doing this. This works. Cool. Keep doing what you're doing.
They've got the dev team now to build all of that.
Yeah.
They're in the content phase of it now.
Absolutely.
They've got plans on adding quests, so to speak. Hey, do this to establish yourself better, to survive better, get secure, clean water, build up this area. They've got ideas to do stuff like that. There is going to be a full suit of armor that you can get that is bite proof. Big drawback to that is it's going to make you sweat more, which makes you dirty, which deals with your hygiene,
Slower.
dehydrates you, you can move slower, those kind of things. So there's going to be pluses and minuses to all things because they're all balanced. They're going to add swords. They're talking about crossbows and bows and all kinds of good stuff in the future.
I'm really seeing this as like a medieval 7 Days to Die.
Kind of that vibe. Not as like shit goes wild every 7 days. Yeah, definitely that vibe.
This is actually one I'm not familiar with, but you brought it up and it sounds dope. Will Fall of Light.
Will follow the light.
Will follow.
Yeah, Will is the name of the character. So this is a game we talked about in episode 109 on my solo episode that I edited. I had a stroke about Robert Pattinson. Very funny video. You should go watch it.
You just had another one.
I did. It's okay. It's the way it goes. It's fine.
English. It's hard.
English is hard. It's a small dev team. I got a chance to play it, which is really cool. It is exactly what I wanted. It's a serious sailing adventure game that has a mystery. Seriously, just go watch the footage on it. But I got a chance to play it. It was really cool. Talk to the creator. And I asked him, because the story is very unique. The idea is you're a lighthouse keeper. Something happens back home. Your wife seemingly died. I didn't pay attention too much to the story of the gameplay because I didn't want to spoil anything because it starts up in the middle of it. But your son is suddenly missing. And so you have to travel across the northern sea, no map, no navigation other than from lighthouse to lighthouse. You actually have to map using a compass and an actual chart. You go from lighthouse to lighthouse to turn these lighthouses on, which point to the next one. You get your heading off of that, go back to your yacht, mark your route, and go.
Actually, triangulation.
An actual, like sailing to where you're actually running the winches to tighten down the sails, sailing with the wind, combating weather, combating storms, all kinds. Like, dude, it is really fucking
I'm
cool.
down for that.
It's
I
really
like
cool.
that level of immersive gameplay.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah, they confirmed. Is this definitely going to be a single player?
Yep, it is a single player narrative story. It's, I don't remember how many hours. I want to say it was like 6 to 8 hours is what they were aiming for. It's a journey home. And I'm like, man, this is such a unique story and a unique take. Where did you come up with this? And he's like, this story is me. I was like, I'm not going to ask anymore. I don't need to know anymore, because if it's a part of his life, that is an insane story to tell.
I would like to hear that story.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
You know, I'm a nosy bastard, so
Yeah.
I'm going to ask those questions. Like, what do you mean? Tell
So
me more.
If it's immersive enough and an impressive enough story, he decided to make a video game about it. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's going to be a great story.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know where that goes from there, but either way, it was a game that caught my attention. Talked about it 2 episodes ago. Awesome. Great gameplay.
Speaking of things that caught my attention, that's how you do segues, by the way. EKTO Boots.
EKTO Boots, VR hardware for your feet.
Yeah.
This is the next level that we've been waiting for VR tech. They are a mechanism built into them, so when you walk, they will keep you in place. And this isn't like those zero friction 360-degree treadmills where it feels like you're sliding on ice or slipping all the time. These are just boots you wear, and there's motors in them that will reverse as you walk at the exact speed that you're moving. And you can navigate a VR world at your own pace. They are really impressive to see. They're still kind of in like the prototype production stage, but from just their marketing that they showed before, they're getting better and better. And looks like their goal and product is going to be super lightweight.
Like a sandal, basically.
Yeah, to kind of give you an idea, they look like moon shoes if you're from the 90s.
Moon shoes. Moon shoes.
These things are like impressive little bits of mechatronics you're strapping to your feet. The engineering that went into these things is impressive, and I am stoked to see this kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Because it's really going to bring us into the next level of VR, because we're having the face tracking, you're having the hand tracking now, and all the other sensors to enable you to do whatever, from just exploring a game to VTubing or whatever. But this is what's going to allow you to fully navigate a world.
That's what we've been lacking. There's tech out there for gloves that let you feel what you're grabbing in VR too.
Mhm.
That's a
The
prototype. as well.
haptics
So,
and
like,
everything.
yes, we've got the feet, we've got the hands, we've got the eyes, we got this.
Yes.
What is reality at this point?
Scan my brain and Sword Art Online me. Let's go.
The last thing we're missing is the boot suits with the microfiber crotch inlay, and then we're solid.
Yes.
You can't give vets anything. Nice.
No.
We ruin everything.
But no, these things are really impressive to see in motion. Unfortunately, I did not get to try them out. The current weight limit is 250 pounds. I'm a chunky boy, but I can imagine what the newer ones that may be higher, but it's still an impressive piece of equipment. I'm stoked to try and check them out in the future.
Moore's Law. You build it, you get your prototype, and then it gets smaller, more compact, smaller and more compact.
Cheaper too.
Yep. Moore's Law.
Look at our computers.
Yep.
I love these segues. Framework.
When I go to the cons, I kind of try and focus more on the hardware, because it's usually stuff that you don't get to see or hear about until it's already released, When I saw that Framework was here, I really wanted to check them out. I've heard about them for a little while. If you're not familiar, Framework is a smaller hardware developer for PCs, particularly laptops. And their whole idea is customization, modularity. You can, besides the baseboard, which just houses your CPU, you can change out everything from your GPU to your SSDs to your IO ports to just peripherals in general. I mean, they've even got the big bezels around your keyboards. They use that space, and you can have sliders for volume control or some other analog input.
Nice.
You can say, hey, I want more USB ports because I have a bunch of USB peripherals. You slide them out and you pop in more USB ports, and you can add in as much as you want. They're highly customizable. While that is appealing to the gamers here because you can put whatever you want into it, they recently announced their desktop mini that they're going to be coming out with here soon. And it is, for what you're getting, actually pretty decent for the price. And this is a small form factor of small form factors. I think it was like 4.5 liters.
Wow.
Tops.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
they weren't slouching on the hardware either. It was a Ryzen APU. I think there's 390
The 385 and 95, I believe.
Yes, 3 AI chips with the integrated graphics with, I think it was about 40 compute units in there for the graphics on there. You're not going to be running Cyberpunk in 4K on these things, but that is solid enough to play a lot of indie titles, a lot of moderately graphics intensive games or older.
Like the ones we've named tonight.
Exactly. Competitive shooters like Counter-Strike and such. And it's a quite impressive little piece of tech. And again, they're including the modularity that they have for the laptops, maybe not as quite intense, but it's still a price point option for what you're getting that's effectively portable. And I was really kind of impressed to see that. A little funny note, though, is that the front panel of them, there's a bunch of little tiles that you can swap out and like different colors. You can customize it how you want. And they have some little logo pieces that you can put on, like the Linux Penguin or like the Framework logo.
Oh, okay.
My favorite, though, is just a tiny little 1-inch square of turf so you can touch grass.
Yeah, I gotta touch grass.
I actually believe that's what that panel is called. It's just labeled touch grass.
It is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. I think I remember mentioning something about that, but like with consoles a couple of episodes ago.
We talked about it when we were discussing like a Steam home console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually didn't know about Framework
Yeah, I
at
didn't
the
either.
time. So I mean, like this is really cool to me.
They're great. They're getting a little more traction, especially now that they're opening up more products. Linus Sebastian of Linus Tech Tips is a big backer of them because he wants to see that expand and as an option in the PC space. And a lot of people else are buying into that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they're actually making out to reach out to these cons and show what they got to offer.
I would love fully modular PC,
Mhm.
keyboard, peripherals, all that.
And it goes beyond just the little bits that you can swap out on laptops. It's like the RAM and your storage. It's just how easy it is. These are user toolless swap out options.
Very cool.
We've got two more topics right now. We're going to talk about this really nifty thing,
Yeah.
Sand Sound.
Sand Sound. So this is, in my opinion, not the coolest looking pair of headphones, but these are the coolest pair of headphones.
Earbuds.
This isn't a paid ad, but these guys are making a product that is unlike anything I've ever seen or heard, and I am not good at telling the difference in audio. I'm just not. Those I can clearly tell the difference. Sand Sound is founded by a gentleman who actually has 20 plus years in audio engineer experience and time in the industry. He's the original creator, the actual creator of Beats by Dre. The original headphones, he built those from the ground up, gave them to Dre, and went back to work on these. And they are headphones, earbuds, that have true spatial audio in them to the point where the audio he played for me and that I have played for these two gentlemen is incredible. You can tell exactly where it's coming from. I've never heard anything like it.
No, I haven't either. It was very impressive to hear it. Pulled up some YouTube audio demos that are not proprietary to them. THQ, other things that show off nice surround sound systems. And I was blown away. You could hear everywhere where these sounds were supposed to be coming from in these demos. In front of you, behind you, up and down. I had no idea you can get that much spatial audio awareness out of earbuds.
You can't, but they can.
Headphones alone would sound difficult, but earbuds, it's insane.
Yeah.
So I actually do have some experience with spatial audio. My favorite set of headphones by Audis. To this day, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. I actually think that's Swiss or Swedish or one of those countries. But the specific model headphones I have, the ones that I broke, they do come with a program that goes on your computer, and then you actually calibrate it.
Okay.
And from there, amazing spatial audio, amazing audio quality. But those were headphones.
And they were wired.
But that's the only time I've had spatial audio. What you're getting out of these earbuds is close to, if not maybe equivalent to what I was getting out of that headset. This is amazing. I look forward to going home and testing these things on a lot of first-person shooter games that I play with my roommate.
That was my first thought, was, man, these would be great for shooters. Battlefield 6? Oh, yeah. Tarkov, you might not need to make an adjustment if you give everybody who buys you a game those headphones.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about, like...
No, I still want them to solve
I
their
agree.
cheater problem.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was blown away. I'm not a big audiophile. I like to think I am and that I can tell the difference in audio, but I really can't. But those, there was no question. The audiophile he actually played for me was like a haircut ASMR. And I swear to God, I felt like somebody was actually next to my ear with buzzers. It was insane.
Spatial audio is freaking amazing. So, Sand Sound, we love your product.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you guys make something not as Autobot, Decepticon.
Just so you guys are aware, those are $300 headphones, which does sound like a lot of money. Totally understand. That's a huge sticker price. But let me tell you, if you're going to buy a pair of Bose, JBL, Dre's, Google Buds, AirPods, just don't. Just get those.
Just get these.
Just get those. Just get those. They're more expensive.
How much?
Sure, yeah. I got these Audio Technica, which is the same as I use for my mic. They're my headphones as well. Really like Audio Technica. And had I not just bought these, I'd be using those right now. But I just bought these. These are really good. Don't do anywhere near the spatial audio that those things do. And those were $179. They're great in their own right, but those are incredible on another level.
Yeah.
And you can actually plug in the back of the case into consoles and I assume PCs to achieve near zero latency, which is pretty insane for a Bluetooth headset.
Yeah.
Which means it should work really great with some video games.
Yeah. I'm going to be testing it.
Yeah.
The one thing I've been looking forward to hearing from you, the interview with David.
Yeah. David Brevik, for those of you who don't know, was the co-founder of Blizzard North and the creator of Diablo and Diablo 2. He worked with a lot of great people, near and dear to our heart. True personal fan. I don't want to get into the interview. The interview is its own video. You should watch it. It's great. It's not too long. He's an incredible human being, very humble. It was one of those moments doing this project that, man, I'm so glad I do what I do. And the only other time that I've really had that was when we went to E3. And even as the clusterfuck that E3 was, because Bluehost fucked us and we never got a single press email. Interviewing David Brevik was like interviewing Superman. Like, I don't really know. Like, it's that same level of like, holy shit. Diablo is so near and dear to my heart. It's the franchise I have literally played for 30 years.
Still playing.
Yep.
Yeah. He was very down to earth, very fun to interview, and he gave some really great perspective on what it's like to actually develop video games. That actually made me think. I'm not going to paraphrase his words beyond the point of, if you think a door is simple, you're wrong. Go watch the interview. It's really enlightening. It's really cool. He has a lot of good thoughts on kind of where we are with the industry, the layoffs, AI. I asked him a fair number of really complex, multifaceted questions, I think. And it was a really fun interview.
I can't wait to hear it myself.
We haven't seen your interview footage at all yet. So I look forward to hearing that because it's like a hometown hero.
Funny enough, he's from my hometown.
Really?
Diablo was named after Mount Diablo. He grew up in the Bay Area.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pretend you're not from California, David.
Yeah. I asked him if he had been paying attention to Moon Beast and what they're doing. We talked about their new ARPG that's coming out last week. I talked about it. He was like, oh yeah, we have a group chat. We all live within 3 blocks of each other and everything. I mean, and they're still really good friends, really tight community. And it's just, it was an absolute pleasure talking with him. That is the end of our free side. It is late. So for our patrons, we are actually going to record the Patreon side of this probably tomorrow. Beasky and I will probably set up and do a local thing and then remote in Chris. We'll have to figure out how the fuck that's all going to work, but it is way too late. He's leaving early in the morning. I've got another interview with Crimson Desert tomorrow. So Patreon, you will get your content. We have tons of it. I'm looking at 6 games on the list right now that we have to talk about, specifically solely for you guys. So we will have that. This episode, I can almost for sure say at this point, is not coming out Wednesday or Tuesday. I will try and have it out by the end of the week, but you know, you're watching it when you're watching it. So
will not have been.
Don't try.
Because
you're gonna reboot your brain. You're gonna blue
damaged
screen.
enough.
You're gonna blue screen.
By the time they see this, it'll be our past.
Correct.
So
yeah, it's fun.
You got to talk about it as past tense.
No, I'm gonna hit the stop button now. Before we go, tell your mom I said hi. For Mike, fuck Ubisoft. For me, fuck EA. Also for me, fuck Nintendo. Not really. I mean, I guess no, fuck Nintendo.
No, yeah, fuck Nintendo.
Anything else, gentlemen, before we sign off?
Tell your cat I said. Pss, 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 pss.
Uh-huh.
That.
Have a great night.